Welcome to the Hudson Show. Coming up, TikTok might not get banned after all.
Also, there's a new big mafia movie, and the two main actors are Robert De Niro and Robert De Niro.
All that and more on the way next. I have some big, exciting news for sports fans across 24 metro areas in the United States, and that is DirecTV yesterday announced their My Sports streaming bundle, which is a new streaming package that offers access to the NFL, NBA, MLB, and NHL games for just $69.99 a month.
Just
$70 a month, and you'll be able to stream ESPN, Fox Sports, TNT, USA Network, plus your local ABC, Fox, and NBC affiliates. And that's all. Again, just $69.99 per month. It says that it's only launching at first in 24 different markets across the United States. I'm sure that eventually it will get there, get everywhere. But it's $70. First of all, I'm not clear on this.
okay.
Is this like you can only watch sports with it, or is there just like they've rebranded a package that they already have by calling it the sports package, and it's really just a bunch of channels that you could already have gotten basically for the same price with all the same stuff on it?
I'm sure they bundled in some other non-sports channels, but for the most part, it'll be sports focused. So you'll have like all the ESPNs 1 through 8, you know, whatever, how many they have now. And then, you know, all of the, I don't know if it will have all of the Turner Sports Network. So if that would be like TNT, True TV, and TBS. But if they're saying TNT Sports, I would think it would be the 3 of those. And then you might get all the Fox Sports ones, so like Fox and FS1. So yeah, I feel like it would be a bundle of several channels. It says 40, and I would imagine there's more than, that's sports channels plus something else. Because there's no way there's 40 just sports.
I don't know. There could be.
I mean, there's the golf channel. I know that.
There's like a channel for every individual sport.
That's true. You got like NBA TV, the NFL Network.
Pickleball TV probably is in there.
Pickleball TV is actually a channel.
What you think is if there's 40 channels and you just want to watch sports, but you're like most of us that just want to watch like, you know, the big sports.
Yeah.
Think about all those wasted channels that are in there just so they can say there's 40 channels.
Right.
And meanwhile, like 34 of them are probably channels you would never watch.
Right. I actually do have a platform that is kind of like this. I use Fubo for my like streaming, and they offer sports-centric packages or add-ons that you can add to your regular, cable package. And so it comes with all of those regular cable channels that you would get if you like signed up for Spectrum or DirecTV. But then they also, package in some of those local sports networks, so you get like FanDuel Sports Network and stuff like that. I don't know if those would include for this My Sports, if that includes that. As a person that likes to watch my local teams, that is very necessary to me, and that's what appealed. That's why Fubo appealed to me.
That's another thing that makes me nervous is this doesn't show that it focuses on like local sports. So you could be out in the cold if you are hoping to watch whatever your local team is. I'm glad this is in here because I was like, whatever happened to that thing that like Disney and like I thought Disney and Max or something agreed to make a sports streaming thing. That was Disney as well as Fox and Warner Brothers Discovery with Max. We're going to put out something called Venue, but they've called that off after they faced an antitrust lawsuit from the aforementioned Allie's favorite, Fubo.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it was the one that offered the most. It certainly is expensive, I will say that. But I split it with a few people where we split the cost. But I would imagine Fubo was not very happy when these places were coming together to kind of do what they're doing, but probably cheaper and better. That I guess makes sense that they would be suing 3 major companies for trying to do that.
And I believe when they had announced that they were trying to do that, and then obviously it didn't work, that $70 was around what it was estimated that would be too. So now you just have to wonder if Fubo kind of does what we're just talking about now.
Yeah.
Why don't they get the word out, you know?
I mean, I feel like I see their advertising, but I'm like, why are you advertising to me? I already have you.
Exactly.
So
it's falling on deaf ears. It's been a tough week for insurance companies. You go back to Mr. Beast dragging health insurance in his new video where he gave amputees prosthetic legs and said, why don't health insurance companies cover this in some cases? Then, of course, the California wildfires have been raging, and there's been a lot of coverage and notes about how, first of all, it'll just be a headache for everybody, even if everything is covered under their insurance. Then there's some reports that their fire insurance is taken away.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate timing for that. And the companies that do provide the fire insurance, I don't know if they could go bankrupt, but they're going to have to spend a lot of money.
Right.
And now Texas comes along and they say, we're suing Allstate. they decide. Now, this does sound very justified. If true, if this investigation that Texas conducted has accurate information here, then it definitely sounds like Allstate should be in the crosshairs.
Oh.
Because maybe that's poor wording, but that Allstate should be held accountable because here's what's going on with Allstate. Texas, their state attorney general, is accusing Allstate of using their Arity driving engine software they would pay mobile apps to have tracking software on your phone that would track your habits, I guess, while you're driving, and then obviously send that info back to Allstate so that they could adjust your premiums based off of whatever it was tracking based off of your phone that you had no knowledge of and maybe agreed to somewhere deep in the terms of service, but possibly not. So it's pretty shady, pretty sus, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not okay. And I've often wondered about that, if that's secretly going on. You know, people using apps and technology to track your speed and track kind of how dangerous of a driver you are, because we always saw those commercials where it was if you drive safe, your coverage will go down. And it's how are they tracking this? But I think that was something where it was voluntary. You could turn the app on to track your driving.
Yeah, so there's different ways you can do it, and I've been resistant to all of them.
Yeah.
One, because I'm a bad driver, so I'm afraid that they take my insurance away. But two, because it just felt invasive. I've not had a insurance app on my phone. I use their website.
Yep.
I'm not naive enough to think that somebody's not tracking me.
Right.
But at least I'm not just willingly come on in and track me with. So I don't have any insurance apps on my phone. I know they can you can opt in to agree to supposedly lower your rate, and then they also have, and my dad has this and gets very annoyed with it. But different companies call it different things, but the snapshot thing that you plug into your car.
Oh.
And that beeps if you brake too fast.
Oh.
And my dad is a great driver. I don't think he's ever been in an accident. Definitely not one that was his fault. And it beeps at him all the time like he's driving wrong. Ugh. And then you just get really self-conscious about it. Yeah, it's just, I don't know that. How can you improve his drive? He's a good driver.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's still beeping at him. So the last time I updated my insurance, I accidentally opted into that. And as soon as I got the little device in the mail, I was like, I need to send these back.
Yeah.
Because I don't want this in my car.
Well, it just feels
but again, that's opting into it versus this.
Right, which is involuntary.
Yeah.
Or supposedly involuntary. Could be voluntary with just you had no idea you were signing up for it, as you said earlier. But it just feels very scammy. You know, those commercials they would do would be lower your rate, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's they're not offering this because they think everyone can lower their rate.
Yeah.
They're offering this because they think they can start raising the rates on some real dummies over here.
Yeah.
So that's the real issue is insurance companies they're not in it for your interest.
Yeah. So. That's the thing that we all need to remember is it's not that insurance companies are trying to screw you over when things go wrong for you. but they're just trying to screw you over generally because they're a for-profit business.
Yeah.
So just something to keep in mind. Always be wary.
Well, something that's coming out later this year is a new Robert De Niro mafia film.
Hey, that's something I can get behind.
Yeah.
I think.
Hopefully, right? We want it to Nights for
At least
sure.
Based off of that description, it sounds good.
Yeah. Well, it's called the Alto Nights, I think, or Alto Nights. I'm not entirely sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but it's pretty cool, not in just the sense that it's going to be like a regular mobster type film, but Robert De Niro is playing both of the main characters in this movie. So he's got two separate roles, which is why this caught my eye. I didn't even know that this movie was being made. Didn't know it was coming out. Somehow came across the trailer and was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I did watch the trailer after you sent it to me, and I'm a little confused. I'm confused why he needs to play two different characters. And my only answer is Robert De Niro needs the money. Because I don't even know if he needs the money, although, he was like, wasn't it a year or two ago? Like he had another child at like 80 years old or whatever.
Oh, I didn't hear about that, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm pretty sure. And so maybe he does really, or maybe he doesn't need the money, but he's just like, I got to do this while I can to stack up as much money as I can for all of my kids that he probably has.
Right.
But like he's also taken some really as good, like he was great in The Irishman recently.
Yep.
What was the other Martin Scorsese movie? What was that called? The Western one.
The Western one?
Yeah, the Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
like,
great
what?
in that. So like he still has it in him to do great roles,
Yes.
but he'll also take movies like whatever that one was with Zac Efron, Bad Grandpa or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so he's willing to still take some roles that he has to know are not good.
Yeah.
Just to pad the bank account a little bit.
Well,
and I'm concerned that's because... no, go ahead.
Okay. Well, this doesn't feel like it's going to be a bad movie. I mean, just from the trailer alone and how it's edited, and we have been fooled by trailer editing before.
Yeah.
But by how it's edited, it feels like an Oscar type of film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got that unique factor to it that's like, oh, it's a true story or based on true events or whatever, based on true people. And they're doing this fun thing with Robert De Niro playing both of the main characters. It just feels like they're trying to get him an Oscar.
I would think that too if it wasn't going to be released in March.
Oh, is it?
That's not a March. You don't do Oscar movies in March.
Yeah, you do them towards the end of the year.
Yeah, so I'm worried about that. But you're right. Outside of that and watching the trailer does it looks good.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like Robert De Niro gangster movie, and it's directed by Barry Levinson, who has made some very good movies in the past. So it has some big names behind it. It has a lot of things going, it's very stylish.
Yep.
So all of that I'm in on, and so I'm very intrigued by it, but I'm just concerned. I'm concerned that it's not as good as the trailer makes it seem. And again,
yeah.
I just don't understand Robert De Niro. Okay, so like Tom Hardy did a movie several years ago where he played two different gangster brothers.
Yep,
but they were twins.
Yeah.
They were twins or brothers or whatever, so it made sense that he would play both.
Yeah.
This one, these are two entirely different guys completely. It doesn't make sense that he plays both of them.
I don't know if it actually is. I think they might actually be related, but the one just changed his name because he's like,
so
in showbiz or whatever.
I didn't pick that up.
I think that's the case. Well, I didn't actually do any research on that, but I kind of got the vibe that it seemed like they were either related or had been friends for a long time or whatever, but it just seemed like they had a little bit of a history. Because, Frank Costello and Vito, I can never pronounce his name, but they're real people.
Genovese.
Yeah. So I feel like that has to be, maybe not, but it just feels like that's what they were kind of going for. So I need to look and see if that actually is the real reason behind it or not.
All I'm saying is I'm hopeful but nervous. I have very tempered expectations, but I did enjoy watching the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer looks great. It looks like they're not related, but Vito was like the successor to Frank's little crime
spoiler
scene.
alert.
Yeah. Well, I think the movie starts with that already being what had happened. But,
okay, let's not give any more away.
No.
Let's just all wait till March.
Yeah.
And we'll all go see it together. We're counting down to possibly the day that TikTok gets removed from the app stores. That's January 19th is the deadline for a sale of TikTok. And at the moment, it seems that what TikTok has been saying is that they are just going to they're not going to sell themselves. Like ByteDance, the company that owns it, is not going to sell TikTok, and it's just going to go away on January 19th. Now, the important caveat to that is that means that it will be removed from the app stores. You won't be able to download it again. You won't be able to update it, but it will still keep working on your phone for a while. Eventually, it will break. It may not like fully stop working, but it'll become just a horrible user experience because there won't be updates to it.
Right.
However, there may be some relief for TikTok after all. There is a bill that has been introduced in the Senate earlier this week that would extend, it's literally called Extend the TikTok Deadline Act. That would give the company another 270 days. It would give ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, 270 more days to facilitate a sale of TikTok. Assuming that, the current law is upheld by the Supreme Court, and TikTok will be forced to sell or get out of here on January 19th.
Right. Well, so the guy that put this on the floor, is planning to, he actually did vote for that original bill, which is currently ahead of the Supreme Court. So I don't want people to think that this is some guy who's like, against the TikTok ban. He's not. He's just trying to extend this time because, as he said, there's many Americans that actually their livelihood is on TikTok. And so he's trying to almost save it in a way by, encouraging ByteDance to sell it. But it just seems like they don't want to do that, as you said.
Yeah.
I've also seen, after reading this article, I didn't think, but apparently they said experts are thinking the Supreme Court is not going to uphold this law.
Really?
I know. I was shocked to hear them say that. I don't know who these experts are, but I was thinking they were going to uphold it and that, TikTok was going to go bye-bye on the 19th. But apparently it looks like they might not. They might go with this whole idea that it is violating First Amendment rights to ban TikTok.
Wow. That would shock me.
That would shock me too.
I have learned a lot of other things about like what's happening with this. For example, that like TikTok should keep working even though they say like we're shutting down on January 19th. That doesn't mean that you won't be able to access the app on your phone.
Right.
You won't be able to post new stuff.
Right.
It should keep working. And for quite a while, I don't know exactly what that means. You'd still, like if you're a creator on there, that's your livelihood, you're going to want to look for other ways. You're going to want to try to build your brand on Instagram Reels or whatever the alternative is.
Yep.
But like it should still keep working for quite some time. Furthermore, though, ByteDance could easily sell, easily, relatively. Again, I'm not an expert on this, but like it's not like they didn't know this was coming.
No.
And it's a very lucrative business at the moment.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people I'm sure that would like to buy it. Mr. Beast, who knows if he was serious or not, but he said earlier this week, he said, fine, I'll buy TikTok. There's rumors that Elon Musk would buy it. I'm sure there's many other suitors that would love to have. It's a cash cow.
Right.
So there's plenty of businesses, whatever, that would buy TikTok from ByteDance, and they seem unwilling to do it, which one seems suspicious.
Yep.
But two, doesn't it seem suspicious that if it's such a bad thing, that why are we extending it another 270 days anyways?
Yeah, that part of it is a little odd. I mean, I think the main reason why they might want to extend it that long is if it does get sold to someone like Elon Musk. We talked about that yesterday, where at that point there might be some antitrust issues involved, which I believe enters in another part of the government that would take more time to rule on that. And so maybe that's what they're trying to do, is trying to offer some time for maybe those bigger suitors that are already saying they're interested to have some time to actually go through with this sale, because you can't get it done in the 4 days that we have left.
Yeah. But they should have been working on this the entire time because they knew it was coming. So I don't know. You know what really upsets me about this though?
What?
Like all this could be avoided if we could just get some American entrepreneur to make. We can put a man on the moon. We did that 60 years ago almost. We can't make our own stupid app that numbs all of our minds and wastes all of our time that teenagers like.
It was called Vine.
Come on. So get on it. You ever heard of this guy, Pep Guardiola?
I have.
Yeah?
Yep.
Like before just now?
No, I had heard about him before just now.
Then tell everyone who he is.
He is the manager for Manchester City, which is a team out of England that plays in the Premier League.
Is it a team or a club?
A club, yeah. You could say that.
Do they play games or matches?
I would say matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I had no idea who this was until I saw this video of him. He's being chased down. He's been chased down by a bunch of guys that want him to sign stuff. They're autograph hounds. Mm-hmm. And instead of just nicely signing all this stuff, he basically scolds them. He says, "Don't come again. I won't sign again. I know your faces. Go to school. Prepare yourself, guys. You're young." One of the guys, he says, "You're old, but you guys are young. Don't be here. Don't waste your time. Do you want to spend the rest of your life doing this?" One guy goes, "I used to be a chef." I think the guy who he said was old.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're a bum." It's like he could have been a chef. He could have been doing something meaningful with his life, putting a smile on people's faces, making delicious food. This is me now speaking.
Yeah.
Instead, he's chasing down a soccer manager to get his autograph to resell online to some who knows what eBay buyer.
Yeah, some big fan of Manchester City.
It is kind of a sad existence to me.
Yeah, I think so. And also, it's sad to see. I mean, here's the thing. It's like any athlete or coach or manager is going to be willing to sign, to autograph things for true fans. But when you see this type of behavior where it's like, yeah, sure, these might be fans of Man City.
I mean,
but more than likely, all they're doing is trying to profit off of other
100%.
fans. So I would imagine, I understand why he's upset because he's like, I want to sign autographs for real fans of Manchester City.
Yeah.
You aren't that. You guys, all you're caring about is profit, and this is kind of a sad existence.
These guys, and some of them are they are pretty young.
Right.
So they have a lot of life ahead of them to, have an actual career. But they've got stacks of stuff. They've got piles of jerseys and the one guy has a box full of things.
Yep.
If you were a manager too, of getting paid a ton of money for Manchester City, would you want to sit there and sign a bunch of stuff so some guy can just go resell it? It's not even set up by the team. This is just them chasing you down, bothering you. Because I don't think I would.
I don't think they're expecting him to sign everything. I think they're trying to get as many different players and people involved with the team to sign all sorts of different stuff.
They're in a way, I respect. This is going to sound weird. I respect these people because it's a hard way to earn an easy living.
Sure,
is how I would put it. They are trying not to actually work a day in their lives.
Yeah.
By chasing down managers, but that you got to hustle to get this, So there's some level of respect, but also they're just being annoying, and the world would go on spinning without these people. They're just selling it to other Manchester City fans that probably have too much money and don't actually need this stuff either. As much of a sports fan as I am, it just feels all like a big waste, and we're wasting our money.
Yeah, and as Pep tells them, it's like, you have so much more ahead of you than this. Do you honestly want to spend the rest of your lives doing this? You
don't have to do something amazing, but you could actually, just contribute to the world. And it feels like they're really not.
No.
We're doing Would You Rather Wednesday, where our question today, dreamed up in our very own noggins here on the Hudson Show, it is, would you rather drink pizza-flavored Coca-Cola or pizza-flavored coffee? Many people getting in. This is one of the highest response rates we've had.
I was going to say.
Would you rather for a while at 8772 RadioU. We'll start with Kendrick. Kendrick says pizza-flavored Coke for two reasons. One, coffee is terrible.
Oh, I agree with Kendrick.
2, pizza and Coke paired better for a meal than pizza and coffee. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can see while your first point is obviously off base, your second point is well taken. Shrew says Coca-Cola. I feel like it'd be more likely to actually pull off something that's not completely awful. I can't imagine the bitterness of coffee would mesh well with the cheese or marinara flavors. So Coke is definitely in the lead. But I did see other people getting in, like Lindsay, who says pizza flavored Coke for sure. Because coffee has such a strong bitterness to it without something sweet to curb it, that I think pizza flavored coffee would end up tasting like burnt pizza. And no one wants a sweet pizza. I'm confused what her answer is.
I am too.
She said pizza flavored Coke for sure, but then everything else you said makes it sound like you want pizza flavored coffee.
I don't think she does. I think mainly what she's mentioning is like how it would be weird to have like the pizza flavoring with like, I don't know, with a sweetener for coffee to make the coffee less bitter. I don't know.
Kirk says both sound horrendous, but I would have to go with Coke as a self-proclaimed coffee snob. I couldn't have that coffee flavor on my conscience.
Oh, doesn't want to ruin his palate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the one where somebody said that you can actually like that you do pair like Coke with pizza and eat it together, which I do. And at first I was like, that sounds good. But then it's like, I only pair the crust with Coke. And that's great. But I don't like eat the cheese and marinara part while I'm drinking Coke. Does that make sense?
I mean, I don't know if anyone does both simultaneously.
I eat if it's like a regular crust, I will eat the crust and take a sip of Coke at the same time.
Oh, I can't do that because I'm always worried about backsplash ending up in your drink. So I always have to wait until I'm done, like fully chewing, swallow.
The worse the crust is, the better it is to
to add that acid
to add the Coke. Yeah, or you could just not eat the crust, I guess.
I'm not. I've done both, but I do think Aurora's great. She says she feels like the Coke would probably taste less horrible, but she'd be game to try both.
Yeah, I would give both a try. I think that's only fair. D says, I think I'd have to go with pizza flavored Coke since I don't drink coffee. I think. And let's do John, who says, if you want to stay with the true nature of a great pizza, the coffee route would be the best way. However, pizza flavored soda mimics the taste of cold pizza, which is also great.
Ooh.
I'd go with both, depending the mood I'm in at that point.
Wow.
John is into this.
He also makes a really good point with the whole cold pizza thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
I didn't know. It's almost, I feel like we have a pretty clear consensus that people are much more into pizza flavored Coke than pizza flavored coffee, which is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, also Shrew's calling me out. He goes, come on, Allie, backwash is only a problem if you're sharing.
That's right. Dee clarified. She said Coke both times. She says, I don't drink Coke. Don't want to mess with my coffee.
Oh,
Got it. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I don't know if you know this, Allie. I put Tabasco in my coffee before. That's probably the weirdest thing I put inside it.
Okay.
And other hot sauce. And so I actually think that coffee makes more sense.
Okay.
But I've kind of been won over by some of the arguments for why pizza flavored Coke would be better.
Right. I think we all knew where I was landing on this one because I am not a coffee drinker and I do enjoy Diet Coke.
Yeah.
So I feel like I also was won over. I already made up my mind, but I was won over by what John said with the whole cold pizza thing. I think that's a true analyzing of this. Would you rather
he really broke it down.
He did.
Yeah. Good. Thanks, John. PSA to all the dog owners out there that your dog very well could give you salmonella.
Oh.
Yeah, something to worry about. According to the new this new study that says that household dogs carry an average 39% of infected dogs are harboring genes that allow for extended bacterial shedding in regards to salmonella.
Oh.
In other words, don't let your dog lick your face is what I'm getting out of this, which I don't let Zafira the dog lick my face. Mm-hmm. I will let her lick other parts of me.
Okay.
specifically my feet.
Oh.
But the face, no touchy the face, no licky the face.
I don't think I like the feet either. I just don't
It's
like
a massage.
I just don't. Hudson, it's getting worse. Okay.
And then I'm thinking like it's like a symbiotic relationship.
Oh,
because she is like cleaning my feet.
No.
And I'm giving her like the salt, like whatever, maybe the salt that she needs, and her.
I don't want these images in my head. I don't. I really don't.
You don't like thinking of a dog.
No, it's not just thinking of a dog, Hudson. It's thinking of a dog.
A happy
that's
dog.
licking your feet.
What's wrong with that?
It just sounds gross. It just sounds not good.
It's it's a behavior that we've engaged in for a long time.
Oh no!
And it's made both of us very happy.
Have you asked? Oh wait, you are the voice of Saphira the dog.
Well, but I don't go, hey Saphira, come over here and lick my feet. It just happens. She's doing it. So it's not like I'm coercing her. And it's not like I'm putting peanut butter on them. She just comes over and wants to lick the feet.
I'm just one of those people that doesn't do feet. I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
It's a very natural part of the body.
I
just
get
like
it.
every
I
other part of the body.
understand, but I just don't want to see it in my head right now.
But that said,
so now you might have salmonella.
on my feet, I guess. But I don't know if I buy this because how many people, what percentage of Americans do you think own a dog?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people own dogs.
If I had to guess, like 50% maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like 50% own a dog. Some people own dogs and cats, but I would say like 40% own a cat maybe, and then like 10% don't know of any pets at all.
It might be larger than that.
Yeah, it could be even higher.
But yeah, there's definitely a percentage that don't own any pets.
And although this study says that dogs have bacteria-resistant salmonella, how many people you hear are like, no, I got salmonella from my dog?
I've never heard of this at all.
Exactly. So I don't know if I buy it. But I don't know. The numbers don't lie.
Okay.
I just another reason to not let your dog lick your face, though.
Yeah. I guess they have to lick your feet
Feet only. Feet only. This is so horrifying to me, but I'm glad to see I'm not alone. The Consumer Electronics Show has been going on in, I guess it's Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. This is where companies get to show off all of their new gadgets and tech and whatever. Sometimes it's just dishwashers, but sometimes it's much crazier things for the new year. In this case, we have a company that has been showing off its $175,000 AI robot girlfriends. And they do not look real, first of all. Most of them anyways. They do not sound real.
No.
But for some reason, they're still $175,000.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely... Robotics have definitely come a long way since I remember first seeing like the robots that could walk or whatever at CES many, many years ago. So they've come a long way. But yeah, these are not... You can definitely tell they're not real humans, but they do still have a very like human-like face. Yeah. And it does creep you out. At least it creeps me out.
It definitely creeps me out, and it creeps me out not just looking at them. Yeah. Because that's one thing. But what truly creeps me out is thinking about people that will drop $175,000 on these things.
Exactly.
This company actually thinks they can make money, and they've spent all this money researching and preparing, so they're really going to try to sell these to people.
Oh my goodness.
And they're assuming that people are going to buy them. And I'm sorry to say, I feel like they might be correct.
Yeah.
I mean, shudder to think.
I also don't love that idea, but we've seen that rise, unfortunately, in AI girlfriends and boyfriends probably, but, through just online chats and things like that have been springing up all over the place. Yeah. And that's just with a computer, a virtual computer or your device. Now this is something where you can actually have this robot in your home. So obviously for $175,000, so that limits who can buy it. Yeah, but that's still it just makes me feel real uneasy.
It's troubling. I feel like the company is trying to push it as, at least at the show, They're like, this isn't meant to be like your actual girlfriend, but we live in an epidemic of loneliness where everybody's sad and alone and cooped up in their houses ever since COVID. And so they need a companion. And so this is great for teens or seniors that have nobody else to talk to.
They really marketed it to teenagers?
I saw them say things about loneliness among young folks.
Okay.
I don't know about teenagers. But teenagers are some of our loneliest people right now.
It's true, but
they don't need a robot, though.
This doesn't feel like the way to solve that problem.
I understand. And if you are making it like a companion for seniors, why are you making it look like this?
Right. Yeah. By the looks, it's marketed towards one group of people.
I do like what somebody said here on Twitter X. They said this is actually a good thing. Because the kind of person who would buy an AI robot girlfriend for $175,000 is the kind of person that should not be around real life women anyways. Which I think is probably the best thing I saw.
That might be a solid point.
Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts had some bad news earlier this week. They were out of donuts at many of their locations in Nebraska, New Mexico. It said 4% of all Dunkin' Donuts had no donuts.
Oh.
But now I have some good Dunkin' Donuts news.
Okay.
If you ever thought, I wish I could smell like a donut, Dunkin' has you covered thanks to their new collaboration with Native. They are putting out I guess you could say a body care line of Dunkin' scented deodorant, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, 2-in-1, and hand and body lotion in a variety of sweet glazed smells. Haven't you ever want your body to be glazed?
No.
They say that they have all these things in 4 different scents: strawberry frosted, vanilla sprinkle, blueberry cobbler, and Boston cream, my favorite.
Interesting. Imagine if I just showed up at work one morning and you're like, what's that blueberry cobbler smell? And I'd be like, it's me. I smell like blueberry cobbler.
I'd be disappointed.
Right.
I'd be disappointed because I'd be like, who brought donuts?
Right, because you'd be like, why does this human smell like a donut?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, if I could, now I can have shampoo to make my hair smell like a Boston cream donut. That actually kind of sounds a little nice.
No, that sounds not nice. You shouldn't want your hair to smell like food.
I'm just worried it would make me hungry.
Well, I'd be worried about other things, but yeah, I feel like that you could add that to the list.
Would you? I know this. There's no actual basis for this. Would you be worried about being a little sticky? Donuts are messy. They're sticky, and even if they've got a picture of a donut on the shampoo, aren't you going to be like, "Oh, this doesn't feel quite right"?
It'll freak you out a little bit, like give you a little complex of being sticky,
like
maybe
a placebo effect kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep. That might be a good theory.
I don't know, but apparently this is something that is actually available now.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't actually smell like a regular donut. I'm sure it's just like the scents of those donuts.
Well,
like
technology has only come so far.
But what I mean is like they'll be like it'll be the scent of a strawberry, scent of vanilla, scent of blueberry.
And you can already get
those type of things.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of being a little, joking here. But the Boston cream one, that one is a little odd.
But like cocoa butter, like body lotion, already exists too. So
yeah, true.
I think if you wanted to really recreate a donut smell for yourself, it was already possible. Now it's just easier. Dunkin' has simplified it. Dunkin' and Native have simplified it for all of us.
What we all wanted.
And this can be a very helpful substitute when you go to Dunkin' and they don't have any donuts, like so many people experienced this week. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.